Hi! In this video, I'll show you how I made 3 crochet cases for my tablet, my phone, and my new shiny Steam Deck. I used yarn I already had at home, including some that I had to unravel. Let's get started! But before I begin, I like to set the mood. A quiet moment, a warm cup of tea, and all the yarn I might use. Today, I'm not following a pattern like I usually do. Just going with the flow and figuring things out as I go. Today I chose soft colors from my stash. Most of the yarn is acrylic or acrylic blends, great for texture and softness. It's always a little messy at the start, but I love this part, the preparation, the quiet before the making begins. First, I needed to unravel the braid and wind it into centerpole skein. I twisted it, set it up on my winder, grabbed some scissors and cut a few pieces to get started. I always wind up my yarn. It's much easier to work with when it's not flopping around. And then I added it to the rest of my skeins. Next, I measured all the devices I'd be making cases for. I wrote down the dimensions as I went to use later when designing. My Steam Deck was definitely the trickiest to measure because of all the curves, but I got what I needed. With all the measurements done, I grabbed my tablet and started sketching. Even if I don't follow my sketches exactly, drawing helps me visualize the final look and plan details like closures, textures, and accents. This is also when I choose which stitches might look best. I want something textured but simple. Nothing too busy that would overwhelm the clean shapes of the devices. For the tablet, I went with purple and white stripes. For the phone, I went the strap so I could wear it over the shoulder. I sketched a white case with a big sewn-on bow. The most creative idea was for the Steam Deck. I wanted to match the cat theme on my console, so I designed a case with ears, button eyes, a little face, and a flat fur closure. I was really excited to see how that one would turn out. Stay until the end for the full reveal. So, time to swatch! I always make a small sample first. It helps me see how the yarn and stitch work together. The swatch tells me how many stitches I will need. It's like a crochet roadmap. It also lets me feel how stretchy or thick the fabric will be, which really helps with comfort and usability. I figured out the stitch counts for both the tablet and phone cases and wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. With my notes and swatch ready, I started the tablet cover. This one took longer since it's the biggest, but I enjoyed every moment. There's something so peaceful about repeating rows while sipping tea in the background. I alternated white and purple yarn every 2 rows and kept going until the piece was about twice the length of the tablet. I tried it on now and then to check the fit. And eventually I realized I didn't have enough purple yarn, so I improvised. I extended the white sections on both sides and added 2 handles. It turned out way cooler than my original plan of just making a sleeve. I don't regret anything. Once it was the right size, I stitched the sides together and wove in the ends, and the tablet case was done. It fit perfectly, like a glove, and the handles made it easy and comfy to carry around. Next was the phone case. I already knew how many stitches I needed, but I still checked that they worked. This project was way faster. The stitches practically flew off my hook. I even took a little break for yogurt and ice cream. I followed the same process. Cast on the width, crochet until the length was right, then stitch the sides together. When the panel was done, I added a pink seam for a cute accent and crochet strap. After that, I weaved in the ends and started working on the bow. The bow is made from 3 parts: a big panel for the bow itself, a long, thin one for the tails, and a small one to tie it all together. I had to redo the panels a few times until they looked right. But once they did, I sewed them into a cute structured bow and stitched it onto the case. While I was sewing, I realized it might be easier to attach the bow before closing the sides. If I ever make a tutorial, I'll adjust the steps. I also made the strap a bit shorter than needed, knowing it would stretch over time. And now for the final and most exciting project. For my cat themed case, I started with the largest piece, the main body. I plan to add the details later. I restarted this part several times to get the size just right. What worked in the end was chaining slightly less than the width of the steam deck, then doing half double crochets across. At the last stitch, I made 2 increases, turned the work, and crocheted along the other side. I joined the row with a slip stitch, then started working in the round, increasing on both sides with each row. Once it hugged the steam deck's shape nicely, I stopped increasing and just continued straight up until the height was perfect. Again, I ran out of yarn, so I went to my closet and pulled out a bag of old finished projects. I found a top I had made years ago but never wore. The yarn matched perfectly, so I started unraveling it. While I pull for a new outfit in Infinity Nikki, here's a fun fact about me. I actually don't buy yarn in stores. I thrift sweaters and knit dresses, unravel them, and wind the yarn myself. It's super fun and satisfying, but sometimes you have to cut through stubborn seams and end up with tons of knots to tie back together. Unfortunately, the thrift store I used to go to closed because it wasn't profitable. So now I just reuse what I've already made or work with what I have until it's gone. Anyway, after adding the last touches, this team neck case was finished. Let me show you everything I made today. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, give this video a like, and leave a comment. Tell me which case you like the most, or if you'd like a tutorial for any of them. Have a lovely day.